Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, less process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just a try and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, Bigadon bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down, war and cry. Fight down, me say Rastafari. War and cry and do the righteousness. And we love I will love Jaja, Jah Rastafari. I will love Jaja, Jah Rastafari. Serve all people. Yeah, we love Jaja, we love Jaja, Jah Rastafari. We love Jaja, Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way, prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down, war and cry, fight down, war and cry, Rastafari, war and cry, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jah, and we love Jah Rastafari. Preserve all, and we love Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah Rastafari. Me love Jah Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
If you've never seen the feathers of a potato thief get rustled, you're going to see this evening. Parliament is on, you know that, isn't it? They're debating quite a lot, but there's a little bit of back and forth with Isaac Buchanan and Dalrymple, which we want to bring you this evening. We're going back on Floyd Green as well. We're also going back on Coleridge Minto and the cold-blooded assassination in Black River. And we'll also read for you this evening the Gleaner's editorial of this morning. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us. To my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening. Welcome one and all. Like and share the live for us, please. And let's get on the way. We're not even going to tarry. We're going to hit the ground running. And we're going to go straight over to Parliament for you. I hope it don't jump off and just stay with Isaac. It's going to tease you up with that, and then we'll bring it forward. But after they speak, I'll tell you my issue with the Jury Act. I was meant to say that to you from last week, but now that it's back again, I will tell you my issue about the Jury Act and what I support in it and what I do not. So let's listen to the little back and forth with Isaac and Dalrymple Filbert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wasn't going to have this elaborate setup, but then the minister attempted to scandalize the court by saying that
good evening and welcome.
Being fed. So I must defend the court to say that they get island grill, and lawyers who can't afford it would like to go and beg, but that would be tampering. So let's set the record straight that the members of the jurors are properly fed, and I see them getting island grill. I'm complaining on behalf of the defense bar. I'm not a part of the jury. That's why I'm complaining. Hopefully the minister will consider that. But it was not a bribe. But Mr. Speaker, I do rise to certainly say to the minister that no one in Jamaica would ever object to the increase in the stipend for jurors. We are a consensus other than where that is concerned. The issue that I'm now having, and I'm constrained to stand and not be short in this presentation, Minister, is that the legislation as presented creates a number of problems for competing legislations as well as it may cause further delay in terms of the course of justice to its finality. For instance, the amendment as it now stands does not contemplate appeals in relation to decisions by the court. It actually isn't. It isn't, and it isn't for the obvious reason, Minister, that the legislation was somewhat copied from the UK legislation almost in its entirety. We, however, like you said when we were dealing with the other legislation, that we don't have the benefit of some of the other legislations, like their criminal legislation, and as well as we start from the basis of talking about a
leave me alone, please.
Hearing.
I'm playing an audio TikTok robot.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, this is Dope Tech from Wix.
Pre-trial and case management hearings are not a preparatory
These robots
hearing.
on TikTok
In fact,
are really
preparatory hearings, there is an entire legislation in the UK that deals with that. It's actually a part of the trial in and of itself, where the issues from section 42 A, B, and
Pop
even
up the
C
screen
would
for me,
arise.
please, TikTokers.
It is during the trial before that single judge. Now, because of that, what also follows then is that we have a serious problem in terms of...
I am allowing you to hear this bit because I want you to hear how shabby and backhanded and back and forth Delroy, just useless and shabby. And I don't know if it was an insult from ISAT or a genuine concern, but it really got Dalrymple on the other side of her socks.
What the legislation is defining as jury tampering. So it's not clear in terms of how, because we are guided by the Constitution. In the UK isn't. They don't have a written constitution which kind of restrains or constrains the judges in their conduct. What happens here, though, is that jury tampering legislation, their provisions are intended to serve the interests of justice. In that individuals accused of criminal offenses should not be permitted to escape justice through any attempt to interfere with the jury. Now, we know that, but in the Seminole case, there was no evidence of jury tampering, which would have given rise to, as you said, the purpose of this legislation. So what happens where, what we're setting up, as my friend would have said, is that we're creating situations where we can avoid or create scenarios where we remove the jury when it is a protection that the defendant who is most affected in relation to this process is not going to have the jury, because a judge may say, I am satisfied that certain circumstances exist. Yourself on your feet said the possibility of tampering. The legislation, certainly in the UK, and from how you drafted or how it is drafted, seems to suggest that there are two things that the judge has to be satisfied with. And the most important part is that there is a substantial risk that tampering occurred.
You're hearing the audio well, Candice?
There's evidence of a threat to the integrity of the process, and that evidence would found an application under the sections as you have it amended. The election by the prosecution. I do also adopt what my friend would have said in terms of why is it that the defense doesn't have the equality of arms in terms of the election of trial without a jury. The scenario in this situation is that it may very well be that a defendant is in a particular jurisdiction and feels that when jurors are impaneled, he cannot get a fair trial, and so he wants to elect to opt for the protection of the judge when just before empanelment or something like that. as the legislation reads, and that is taken away from them, and it is also circumventing the Criminal Justice Administration Act.
TikTok
So
not
as
stop
it
telling
is
me with
right now, I could
violations
not
and no
support
reason
this
at
bill
all.
as it is
As if the robot them can
to
hear
be
so
passed
something
in
not
the
play.
House, certainly.
TikTok, what is
Now,
wrong?
the next aspect is that the rationale for the legislation would be that only where there is evidence that the accused is prepared to attack the process, there must be a real and present danger that the jury is also at risk. In the absence of that, the judge actually should not or ought not to have the power to simply say that we're going to elect to have a trial by judge alone. The next thing that is important then is the insertions for the JAJA, that is the Judicata Appellate Jurisdiction Act. Now, because it is absent, there's nothing in the legislation that sends you to JAJA, or there's no suggestion that the JAJA will actually be amended, which would have language that says, from the refusal of a judge of an application, from an order of a judge under section 42A of the Act, which is made on determination of such an application. There's no such language, and therefore the bill as it is now would certainly be deficient and cause similar apprehensions or scare like the firearms legislation. The aspect of the appeal, though, is, and I could ask you the question, while I humbly suggest, is the section, does it provide a right of appeal or a grant of appeal against the order? And here's what I'm saying. The order, which is made under section 42A, is it to continue? Can the trial continue in the absence, can the trial continue in the absence of the jury until it is that the appellate process is completed? So that is important, because in the UK, that is how the legislation is set up, to say that once the judge announces, as in 42C, informs the defense and the prosecution that I intend to discharge the jury and I'm going to proceed by judge alone, you may make your submissions and then I make my ruling. After the ruling, the appeals lie with the Court of Appeal. In the criminal jurisdiction, it doesn't even say that, because we have civil and we have criminal.
But I said that could only be in the
it
criminal
doesn't say
jurisdiction, though.
that it is the criminal jurisdiction explicitly that the appeal lies.
The law doesn't have to say that explicitly.
Then, Minister, that
a criminal appeal could
reference
only
then
go to the criminal
would be
division.
the Court of Appeal rules, and then the notice of appeal or notice of application for permission to appeal in criminal matters must be filed within 14 days in our jurisdiction. There's nothing to say that where the judge makes the decision, as according to your legislation, that says, I am going to elect to go trial by judge alone, and then I make my ruling, find you guilty, give a written judgment, as your legislation says. But upon that, when does the time toll for the appeal? And that's open-ended. My suggestion would be humbly that it would have to, the appeal, the 14 days would toll at the end of the written judgment of the judge at first instance. And that would be similar in keeping with what happens in the UK. Similarly, it would follow that there must be a stay of proceedings until the appellate process is concluded. If the decision to go by trial by judge alone, and both persons have the option, both prosecution and the defense have the option to appeal the decision. At the point where we have a stay, Minister, you did say that we're trying to be more efficient. I can see the Chief Justice cringing, because these trials would then bring about some form of delay as it goes through the Court of Appeal, as it gets a date, and somebody is dissatisfied. Our final court is still at the UK. And so you can see the type of delay that would come from matters arising from this. So one wonders if this is actually improving efficiency, protecting the integrity of the jury system, or is it further clogging the court as written just now? So that is somewhat problematic. Again, with this, the same legislation and the election or the application made by the prosecution as the bill suggests, there's nothing to say in like similar legislation, which it was adopted from, that the judge may not make such an order without the approval of the Chief Justice or the judge nominated by him. So is it a specialized situation with the application? Because again, we do not have the preparatory hearing, which is that we have trial readiness, as I said earlier, but the preparatory hearing, we don't have the legislation to give guidance for such a hearing. So it then wonders if we are relying again on what now exists, which is directions, practice directions from the Chief Justice, or are we cementing the legislation to direct the process that we want? So while it is that I take no objection to advancing and improving and modernizing the legislation, and hope that we never would have again a scenario which took place in the Sean Campbell matter, which went all the way to the Privy Council, is that we must ensure that the legislation is meeting the object and purpose and the mischief that is trying to correct. And in the absence of correcting the appellate jurisdiction where that lies, and in the absence of
all right, what is going to come up now is what Dalrymple perceived to be an attack on Delroy Chuck.
The attempt, not intentionally, but it has the effect of circumventing the Criminal Justice Administration Act, that it just needs to be revisited. I did painstakingly read the legislation and wondered if the member from, well, I didn't wonder. I kind of said that the member from Western St. James, West Central St. James, took no part in this legislation. I just wondered, because I know the government doesn't do pitchy-patchy work. And that person is very...
Dalrymple take this as Isaac Buchanan. Clearly, Isaac Buchanan is saying, in a way, it is pitchy-patchy, and just allude to that as well, and why they did. Delroy Chuck want the support to have the legislation pass, the amendment pass. But what Delroy Chuck is saying, we will form a committee to discuss the broader Jury Act after we pass this, which is really backhanded. Whatever you want to explore within the act or within the bill or within the amendment, you must do it before passing. You cannot pass the bill and then say, okay, we're going to sit down and do the dotting of the I and the crossing of the T's, because that is what the committees are supposed to do. The dotting of the I and the crossing of the T of the bills. So let's finish this now with Isaac and Dalrymple.
And the member from West Central St. James is very pedantic and exacting. And that is a compliment. So it is not an attack on my friend. I have great respect for.
So what Isaac is saying here, it seems as if Marlene Malahou Fort didn't take any part in this because it would have been more ironed out if Marlene Malahoo Ford took part in this, but I am not of that view as well, because Marlene Malahoo Ford have that same nonsense as well. Remember when she came with the constitutional review, she was the one who introduced the hybrid presidency to us. But let's finish listening the tit for tat.
That member. But to say that I just think that it's not, I'm not accusing you, Minister. I'm just saying that I think that many things weren't considered in relation to where we need to go. And I'm just rising to say that I'm hoping that as a house, we're not embarrassed by passing a legislation that has too many holes, and then
Precisely.
the general social media will say all we did was copy and paste, and we didn't have mature considerations and all the critiques that come from it. And so I'm saying it with the greatest amount of respect to say that there's a little bit more work that has to be done in relation to the section 42A, B, and C, and including an inclusion and a direction of the appellate jurisdiction that would give effect to the legislation. I'm truly saddened that the increase in the stipend is attached to this particular amendment, because it's a tricky or a slippery slope. And those are just my humble contributions, and ask that you would consider it so that it doesn't delay what I know is much needed. And I support, Minister. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now the potato thief with the rolling tongue gets ruffled.
Yes. Your mic is on. Your mic was on.
Listen to the thief now. Listen to
You need to turn it on. Right.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I rise and I want to acknowledge the views of the member from Northeast St. Elizabeth and
Hit the like button, please.
Portland. But I want to start out by saying, although I'm new in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, that ministry has a minister that has done sterling work and is intelligent. It has had other ministers, hold on, I'm on my feet,
Listen to the
has
thief.
had other ministers that have been equally capable and has done work that is thoughtful. The ministry does not do patchy work. The minister, hold on, I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. No, I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you.
Hide the rather potato them.
Mr. Speaker, a point with the greatest amount of respect. And I said I was constrained and painstakingly. And no, I said it. I said we do not want to have that said about this house further the ministry. I have the greatest amount of respect for Mr. Chuck, and I have the greatest amount of respect for Mrs. Ford. And I want it to be clear that I said the very attack that I'm speaking of is what we do not want for the house. I'm a part of this house. And no, I'm saying that. I'm making that clear. And I said, in fact, and I just want that to say, because we are in a social media area where persons will cut and paste, and I'm not here for sound bites. No, I was not. And I said I painstakingly said it. Thank you. But that's what I said. I was clear on what I said.
Member, you have to turn.
Therefore, yes, I want to say, therefore, that my comment is very appropriate. It's a backhanded way of introducing to the public as we speak as members of parliament that there is incompetence, there is It is a
But Dalrymple, it is a backhanded way for Delroy Chuck to come to Parliament with an amendment, want the support of Parliament to pass the amendment, and then after we pass it, we sit down and see if anything is wrong with it. That is what is backhanded. Dalrymple, potato thief, Filbert.
backhanded way of doing it. We have a minister that is, no, I'm not saying that. I am saying we have a minister that is capable, has managed a ministry, and in addition to the minister and previous ministers who have worked here, we have a technical team at the ministry that is excellent and very good and careful with their deliberations. And I want to make the point that this act that has languished in this parliament for, I think, from 2016, went through.
That's a lie. I said I got straight narrow.
I allowed both members to speak. And I would expect the same courtesy to be extended to me. Again?
Member. A point of order is to ask a question. Yes. In here. Yes. So listen, we are not going to take it tit for tat. You had your chance. You had your chance. You made a statement. I don't.
Does your loo roll make you feel good?
Bear with.
Who Gives a Crap donates 50% of their profits. So add some woo to your loo with feel-good toilet paper. Who Gives a Crap?
What makes a visit to America beautiful? Sure, the place itself will leave you speechless, but it's the moments.
There he told Isaac to take it.
Remember, you can go. Remember, you can turn the mic on.
Mr. Speaker.
What's my teeth in, Chris?
Remember, you can sit first, please.
Mr. Speaker, I have never seen or heard of an instance where a member wishes to rise on a point of order and it is denied. I urge you, Mr. Speaker, to allow the member to raise his standing or his point of order, and then you can decide on it. But I think you have to hear him, Mr. Speaker.
Fifi will also give her support to that.
Mr. Speaker, I would agree that the point of order, once the member rises to indicate that he has a point of order, the point of order should be heard. However, I ask the member to keep the point of order in the confines of the standing orders. A point of order is not to say that you don't like how something is being phrased, is to make a clear designation that the member speaking may be doing something contrary to the standing orders. So I think because the last time it was more of, I think because the last time it was more of a conversation, right? So if you could keep the point of order clear so that the speaker can rule on the point.
Minister of Stealing and Soliciting Sex. It seems as if the 2 days of been sitting on the witness stand testifying against police in a murder trial have taken a toll on your voice, Minister. I can hear that. You know that major murder trial of the 6 police officers who committed that murder in about 2013? It is said that Minister Green is a key witness on that murder trial, and he's been on the witness stand yesterday and today. This was the reason why Mr. Green also turned up to Parliament late today, but it's not my business anyway.
Mr. Speaker, the member from South Trelawney spoke about the particular amendment which I spoke about and said that it was there from 2016. The matter in question was before the Privy Council in 2024, where I stood before the Privy Council, and I say, and the minister respectfully said that the particular amendment which I gave my contribution to was as a result of that very case. And I just heard the speaker misleading this house to say that it was there from 2016. I cannot sit and allow that. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I want to admit that the section that we're dealing with has come about in the last 2 years. But please be advised that the proposed amendment to the Jury Act, there's nothing to laugh about. The proposed amendment to the Jury Act has been under discussions for very many years, to as far back as 2016.
Right. I tell you how Marissa lies here. There wasn't any opposition, especially Marissa, after the 2020 general election. There wouldn't have been any opposition to the government then between 2020 and last year before the general election amend the Jury Act, because like the other acts that the government amend in the dead of night because of their majority in Parliament for the 5 years, they could have so done with the Jury Act. So Marissa Dalrymple-Filbert is not only misleading Parliament, but is deliberately lying.
I am stating that fact. Madam Member of Parliament, I'm on my feet and I am moving on. I have responded to what has been said and I am now moving on. I am also saying in response to the comment.
Right, let me not listen to any more of that thief, because nothing what she not got what I said don't make no sense to me right now. But in my issue with the Jury Act, I'm not in complete opposition to jury trial, but I had this problem when I was at law school as well. When it comes to cases of high complexity, I would support such trial being bench trial, not by one judge though, by 3 judges. Cases like complex fraud cases, cases to do with conspiracy where it's a plethora of arguments and legal arguments, gang-related cases that sometimes lost trial can go on for weeks or months. I think trial with such high legal complexity ought to be more bench trial rather than juror trial. But wow, the wind is wild outside. I wouldn't support abolishing jury trial completely, which is in a way the backhandedness of how Delroy Chuck is bringing this amendment. It would almost give the judges power to decide for themselves whether to have jury trial or not, which is not the right way to go. So this is why both ISAT and JES, they support the raise in the stipend for jurors, but they are in opposition to having the amendment pass, and then after passing the amendment, we go and look at what is possible wrong with it. That is so, and this is why I start to use the pitchy-patchy word, because it is pitchy-patchy to make the pants, then I'm going to put on the packet or the zipper. After me tell you I'm done, and I saw it go. But we've always been telling you, members of the Jamaica Labour Party do not read or cannot read. When we say that, it is not an insult. I'm going to show you a video of Kamina Johnson-Simit, which explains exactly that. Again, in our parliament. Again, in our parliament, it explains exactly that. These people do not read. This is an argument from last year, and this stemmed from the report that we got in last year, early last year, to do with the Moroccan fertilizer and all of that. Listen to this clip of Senate debate, and when we say JLP don't read or cannot read, Kamina Johnson-Simit embodies that.
Mr. President, RADA is there as an organization to assist our farmers, but we need to see more. We need to see more support for our farmers coming out of RADA. And we spoke earlier about the cost of corruption in agriculture. And I know that we don't want to touch it, but it is a real matter. Because when there are implications of fertilizer not being given to those who need it most, but being sold, that is a dangerous road to go down. And whether or not,
then on a point of order once more,
Go ahead.
Mr. President, yes, lies bite. There was no, the Auditor General's report.
It's the other way around, you know, Kamina, and really lies bite, a truth bite.
Did not allege any corruption, and it did not, what it said expressly was that they were concerned that they did not have the beneficiary list in all of the bags, and they were provided. There is, Mr. President, no allegation of corruption comprised in the Auditor General's report, and any attempt to try to have those things embedded in Hansard or that fertilizer was sold.
Yes, it was sold.
They have been responded, so I will check on that as well. But you guys are very, I just have to say, Mr. President, that these utterances that are being made demonstrate the utmost irresponsible and disregard for the importance of the relationships between Jamaica and the countries who have been provided.
When we tell them, say, JLP don't or can't read, this is what we mean. Because it can't be that the minister so stupid to come up parliament and deny something were widely published.
Providing such strong support for our farmers, which they have felt and has increased their productivity undeniably and indisputably.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. President. It seems like the minister is more concerned about relationships than the farmers who need these resources. It is in the report. Check it out. It's a Google away. It's a Google away. Read the report.
All right.
Mr. President, I was on the point of corruption, where resources are directed away from the people who need it most. I can talk from my farmers in Muirhouse who after the hurricane were supposed to get fertilizer and them say no PNP farmer now get it. That is corruption. When we talk about agriculture, listen, you can't tell me the experience, it's me walk and talk with them. That's right.
That's what we mean when we say JLP don't or can't read. Don't or can't read, because all when it's in front of them, all when it's in black and white. But then didn't Justice Panton identified that for us, that even the legislation they claim to have enacted, they are not aware of really what those legislations are. We're going to go now to the Gleaner editorial before we go off into the rest of the fancy dandies, because like the Gleaner editorial, myself and a lot of Jamaicans are concerned after Wildman and prosecutor clash over murder child. Hey, Wildman and prosecutor clash today in a, I wonder if I want them a question flight green. Hugh Wildman and prosecutor clash in a court. But we are concerned, man fatally shot by police in St. Catherine. We're going to go to extrajudicial summary execute. We're going to, I'm not going to call them extrajudicial killing. These are summary executions. We'll go to summary execution government procurement portal to be upgraded. Oh, please, or like when I have anything. And if we not upgrade, and still I go duck and dive and thief same way. What's that? Special initiative for St. Catherine motorists to clear outstanding traffic ticket. Money, oh. I need to find the Gleaner editorial. Government strengthening health system to meet hurricane and flood demands. Oh, please. Who are they talking to? Or the Gleaner story. Yes, this is the story we want to read. Marco Rubio and Andrew Holness, because like me, the Gleaner look like them want to know as well. So we're going to read, try to waffle away with this Gleaner edit. Globalist, sorry about that, please. My computer just, it just went blank, closed my pages, but it didn't go off. Hold on, let me just set things back up for you because everything went. Bear with me. Let me first pull back my Gleaner article because that's what we were going to read. Bear with me, globalists, please. It knocked everything out for me. Audio check, audio check. Can you hear me now? I'm meant to be back in the studio. You should be hearing me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, globalists? Bear with. Hold on. Okay, yes, they're hearing me. Let me get my thing is back up in the studio. I need to get the Gleaner article. It just closes everything on me. Don't know what happened there. And close my entire page. Let me go back to the Gleaner and quickly find this article, because everybody want to know and ought to want to know what is these regular visits and conversation with our leader and the United States. It should cause us concern, given the rogue element of the United States president. That should really cause us some concern. So let's see if we get back into this, and hopefully it does not knock us out again. Bear with me. Yeah, bear with. Let me extend this. Be open about U.S. talks. That is what the Gleaner editorial is saying to Andrew Holness. So we're going to waffle away through the editorial. The timing of last week's telephone discussion between Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Marco Rubio, days after the United States named Jamaica among 75 countries which was suspended from processing of immigrant visas, is likely coincidental. The great likelihood is that Holness-Rubio talks were a follow-up to and ought to be read as one with the discussion in Kingston last month between Holness and some key advisors and top official from the U.S. Defense and Homeland Security regional apparently was the top issue on their agenda. In all possibilities, Jamaica is attempting to strike a deal that would insulate it from the mere extreme of President Trump's immigration, trade, and security policies, which would be a good thing in the face of heightened global uncertainty and increasing geopolitical volatility in the Western Hemisphere. But if we are to take the approach of this paragraph, we are beholden to whatever America wants and whatever America wants us to do. So if it is that we take that approach and America decides we're going to marshal Jamaica young men into our army, figure fight and die, nothing to stop them. Or maybe if Donald Trump said we want Jamaica like Greenland, I guess Jamaicans themselves would agree to the bullshittery of it. And as Prime Minister Andrew Holness argued after the US bombed Venezuela and controversially extracted their president Nicolas Maduro to stand trial in America, his job is to keep Jamaica safe and not stare into waters into which we do not have to go. However, it is not unreasonable to ask about what Jamaica has committed or is willing to commit for any special consideration, the broader framework, if any, within which the undertakings would fit, and what are the guarantees that they will be adhered to. In that regard, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his government should open a full and frank conversation with Jamaicans on the state of global affairs. I welcome that. That ought to happen. And choices that confront Jamaica and the Caribbean community, that are the administration's preferred direction, and why. Clear consensus. In other words, the government should seek a clear consensus on its decision after the options have been fully aired. The background to the situation in which in which region find itself, it should be in which the region find itself, is important. The year since the miracle Trump reoccupied the White House after a 4-year gap between his presidency has been tumultuous. He unilaterally jacked up duties and imports to America, including from countries which the United States has a free trade agreement. The US has practically rendered World Trade Organization redundant. However, Donald Trump's pursuit of America's unilateralism and great power politics, allied with his assault on the institution of global governance, which emerged post-World War II, is hastening the collapse of an international order where small countries felt they enjoy a modicum of protection. There is no clear replacement for the undermined system. Instead, with respect to Latin America and the Caribbean, Donald Trump has reasserted the Monroe Doctrine with a more robust interpretation of U.S. hegemony in the hemisphere. This is part of the backdrop against which Trump ordered the U.S. military to blow up alleged drug smuggling vessels in the southern Caribbean Sea, capture President Maduro and his wife, and threatened regime change in Cuba. Said a U.S. national security strategist document the White House issued in December, the United States must be prepared, must be preeminent in the Western Hemisphere as a condition of our security and prosperity, a condition that allows us to assert ourselves confidently where and when we need, and when we need to in the region. That should make every Caribbean and South American government scared when America is saying we can confidently assert ourselves into any region when we deem it necessary for us, the Americans. Continue reading. The term of our alliance and the terms upon which we provide any kind of aid must be contingent and winding down adversarial outside influence from control of military installation, port, and key infrastructure to the purchase of strategic asset broadly defined. Let's read this paragraph again because it's very important. It's the crux of some of the issue. The term of our alliance, meaning the alliance between us and America, and the term upon which we provide any kind of aid, it should be we are provided any kind of aid, Gleaner editorial, don't say him good, must be contingent to winding down adversarial outside influence from control of military installation, port, and key infrastructure to the purchase of strategic asset broadly defined. Those are the conversations we want to have with Prime Minister. Will there be any U.S. military installment in our country? As I have been asking the Prime Minister from whenever, will the U.S. reactivate their military base at Vernon Field? Is there a discussion over the U.S. having a military base on Goat Island? It is important that we have this discussion. Given the aftermath of Melissa, we'll continue to read on in a bit. Given the aftermath of Melissa, and we saw the Prime Minister went to South Africa and told everybody, barring us, that the Caribbean is ripe for investment. We should want to know what all of these deals that Andrew Holness is making with other people and other countries. It is important for us to know, because whatever consequences are drawn from these, we are the people that will inherit them and pass them on to our children and grandchildren. Primary strategic adversaries. That document identifies China as America's prime strategic adversary globally. Even before the National Security Service, Trump administration made it clear in which it wished to dislodge China from the region. And we know that was Trump behavior from his first term. There are implications for Jamaica. A Chinese firm is a partner in the company that operates Kingston Transshipment Port. Chinese entity also own an aluminum refinery currently can't call that word there, sugar factory, and among other things, a tolled highway. Beijing has also loaned Kingston hundreds of millions of dollars to build infrastructure. See how long me I want to know about this geopolitical bipsy-bapsy where we're going to get ourselves in a the middle hit now, only if one of you listen to me from 2 years ago. We know that fully clued up. We know they're fully clued up with what is going on now. Nothing we are going to no surprise me, you know. Nothing we are going to surprise me. These factors help to complicate the premise through which the recent US-Jamaica talks, including Saturday between Prime Minister Holness and Marco Rubio, have to be viewed, including America declared support for the island post hurricane reconstruction effort. Jamaica's read out of the Prime Minister discussion with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, reaffirmed the United States' willingness to support reconstruction and resilience efforts through continued cooperation and partnership, including private sector participation. The State Department briefly reports confirm Rubio's support of the U.S. ongoing support for the recovery, and he praised Holness' leadership as a strong and reliable security partner. That's the key word, security partner. Given their talk of regime change in Cuba, the security partner is important. While Holness' administration, like the U.S., questioned Maduro's legitimacy, Kingston sided with CARICOM against military intervention. As the community insistence that the Caribbean be maintained as a zone of peace. But we know that Andrew the hope aside talk, given the paragraph I've just read, let me read it again. While Wholeness Administration, like the United States, questioned Mr. Maduro's legitimacy, Kingston, meaning the Jamaica government, sided with CARICOM, the Caribbean Community, against military intervention in Venezuela. The community, the Caribbean community, insisted on maintaining a zone of peace. But given the amount of side talk that Andrew Holness, as opposed to any other Caribbean leader, is having with the United States and Marco Rubio, we cannot be sure that the assurance, the line of argument that Andrew Holness took when he speaks to CARICOM would be the same line of argument that Andrew Holness would take when he speaks to Donald Trump and his surrogate, given that Donald Trump is a demanding witch. Let's read on. These principles have been stressed by Donald Trump, asserting of U.S. powers in the region, which has caused tension in CARICOM. Trinidad and Tobago, the new government, has backed Trump posture. The issue that Jamaica and the Caribbean now face are not easily resolved. And in Jamaica's case, I thought you shouldn't start a question with a new sentence with "and." Who's writing in the Gleaner here? And in Jamaica's case, it should be, however, Gleaner, editorial, in Jamaica's case. Normally, in the English language, we don't start a question with "and" or "because." You don't let me go hawala on you, all right? You should rather say, however. In Jamaica's case, they are made more complex by the impact of Hurricane Melissa, whose direct cause was over 8.6 million or more than 40% of Jamaica's GDP. Notwithstanding, the region is likely to find that in the long run, the safer bet is confronting the issue as a whole rather than separately. Oh, that's where the Gleaner editorial finishes, with a bit of grammar to be cleared up by the Gleaner, but that's their business. Anyway, that's their business. What do we go to next? Stealing or killing? Do we now go to stealing or killing? Because what we want to remind Coleridge MINTO is that the style of policing that MINTO is bringing to St. Elizabeth is bringing to Black River. We are not used to that type of policing. We are not from town. We are not from Punish Town. We are not from Westmoreland. And we are not from St. James. We're from St. Elizabeth. We're not used to the extrajudicial, we're not used to the summary execution, and the police, the overly used to police lie them. So I've come across a video of Bigadon's sister. This video was done about a week ago, which was done about a week after Bigadon's death. Let's go to show you a clip of the healthcare debacle unfolding in front of patients, what we have to tolerate while the minister is swindling billions. While the minister is swindling billions from the healthcare budget, it is that swindling of the public purse that is causing our lives in the hospital. Look at the state of Spanish Town Hospital, Dr. Crofton.
Imagine the man drop down, you know, and not even security them. But did they gate and give people tough talk, but they can't come out through gate and this and that. The man they walk over a man. and go about them business left the man a go. Walk over, man. Mr. Tufton, what kind of system you run in a Spanish town? Mr. Tufton, you need to left off of your IC and come a Spanish Town Hospital, address your workers them. Or else Jamaica go start rebel and start bust gunshot in your people them head. And when you hear man attack them thing, I don't want to feel like a joke. Mr. Tufton, Jamaica, we start rebel like 80 and the whole of have to run way out of the country. And that you don't want Jamaicans to start though? Eh? Wanna tell me honest truth. That you know want Jamaicans to start though. Start rebel and start bust gunshot off on the nurse and doctor them. What not do, Mr. Tufton? You need to get up off on the IC and start address blood clot health sector them more better than this. Yeah. Cause right there so beside the lady there, a man did it with a nurse, with her family member. Did it so. And now when the man drop down and are dead, at that time the nurse and doctor and everybody a run come. And I come go and like say, yeah, them a do something. And when the man did sit down long, nobody now look on him. See security boy there.
Sir, the part where you say fire shot at a nurses and doctor, me wholly disagree with that, sir. Sir, I couldn't agree with you upon that. What I would agree with you upon, sir, is to fire out of the politician them and the businessman them were evade with tax and the sinting there. Me now go support you with firing out of the nurse and doctor. They would be gonna when enough shot we where we go. When enough shot we, sir, and when we go hospital. Oh, look at how if you gun happy and chigga happy, sir, look for a government official or a businessman. They are fair game in our society. And that me I tell you tonight.
You see when the man drop and you don't even look on the man. Imagine. And you say you work in a hospital as security. Yo, Mr. Tufton, you need to get the thing underneath. Better organization, you hear? All right. Our Jamaicans are start rebel. And when Jamaicans start rebel and start bust gunshot in on the doctor them head, who no can't say nothing. Oh.
Now, Global TV does not support any attack on any of our healthcare professional. Not one, not even the ones that behave to us like pigs. Because we know we have many of. We know we have a plethora of those who behave to us like pigs. And not for a moment we would support that. But if you want to play bird shooting with politicians, we have a bird season in Jamaica, sir. We have a bird season in our country. That may I tell you. Now, let's go to the extrajudicial killing, because for those of you who have not heard, we don't need to hear the corruption of Superintendent Minto. You also need to hear the corruption or the incompetences or the rogue element of policing that is taking place in Black River. As me say, we are St. Elizabeth, we no used to them something here. So this will Minto enforce upon us. It's not our portion, Coleridge Minto. It's literally not our portion. This is not how St. Elizabeth behave. We know so we have rogue element in a St. Elizabeth. We know we have rogue element in a St. Elizabeth. But walking and killing innocent, assassinating innocent young man over possibly Coleridge Minto. Personal feelings. Over personal feelings. And then to have put out a narrative. But you're going to hear from the sister. Today first, me come across this video, and it's important that we run this message and continue to run this message, because over here we continue to take a stand against the summary execution of our young men by the police. So let's listen to the sister of Lita Nemad, aka Bigadon, who was assassinated cold-blooded by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in Black River.
I hope this video will get to CVM TV, TVJ, and
TikTok a shadow ban me now here.
to any news media platform.
You know what happened to me on TikTok?
Because this is not going to be a 9-day or for 40 days, no. It's going to be until we get justice for Bigadon, later in memory. Now, Mr. Minto, Superintendent COLDRIDGE Minto, attached to the Black River Police Station, you may not have pulled the trigger, but you are as guilty as Corporal Swaby, Corporal Jolly, and Corporal Randy. It's been a week and 1 day to be exact since my brother. I try my best not to cry. Since my brother was executed. You have not come to give an official statement as to what really transpired, what really took place. Oh God. I feel like this are the first murder or the first killing by police where me not see no police come out come make no report. Because if you label him as a wanted man, a gunman, and on the police radar, right? I'll turn this down. And the fact that he got killed, right? Murdered, rather. You don't think that's a reward on the JCF side to make the public know or aware of the fact that, hey, kudos to you guys, you take a gunman off our street, right? Why is it not a public headline or news? Instead, you have not come out to say anything. Nothing at all, Mr. Minto, nothing. And these are the questions that I need answers to, right? You guys went by the house. You claim saying you have gone, you went by the house, you made a search. Nothing was found. In MCR, nothing was found, right? That's oh my God. Oh God, this take a lot out of my feet to this because how me I struggle for even accept the fact that I can't even hear my brother's voice again. Oh God. Alright, I go by the house like 3 times, right? The first time, nothing. Second time, nothing. And mind you, everything is on video. Everything is on video. Everything and everyone's face is on camera, right? Right? Mr. Minto, the last gonna go by the house. For whatever reason, and I still can't give a reason why. What? Show some evidence, show something that was alleged, right? Allegedly somebody made a report, or allegedly you got a tip. Something, nothing. You have nothing to say, okay, this is what led to the first search or the second search. Nothing. Nothing at all. Because me want, if my brother is as who no label him as, right? Me want you prove to the public, say you have at least one report made against him of him doing something illegal. In bringing himself on hold him for 48 hours on his birthday was the 28th of January. He had his birthday celebration along with my other sister. One born December 28, one born December 29. Right? December 28, he had his party. The 29, he got locked up, got released the 31st. You know, let me rephrase, not locked up. I guess locked up different from being detained, right? You hold him for 48 hours. He was then released, no charge, nothing. January 2nd, a report was made with you, against you, Mr. Minto, Jolly, Randine, and Swaby.
This is why they killed the young man.
To Indicom, right? January 2nd. January 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, he got killed by your kill squad. Now, Mr. Minto, my question is, Mr. Minto, Corporal Coleridge Minto, what led to him being pulled over, right? Did he resist? Did he not stop? What led to the alleged shootout? So police stop my brother, right? Uno stop my brother. And him just start pull gun pa uno. As we no claim. Hey, Mr. Minto? What led to all of that? Okay. Why was the most important evidence for the crime scene removed? Why was his body removed? Why was his body removed?
Listen, globalist.
Why was his body removed? Why was his clothing removed from his body? I'll take him, I'll carry him, go just throw over the hospital. He would have been there if not someone recognized the body and saw that it was my brother and called a family member. And that's how we knew that my brother was dead. Because still that nobody, notifying nobody, nothing. Mr. Minto, these are the unanswered questions that people we want, with the family want to know. Mr. Minto, my brother innocent, and I would have taken a bullet for my brother. Because me can't swear upon my life, say my brother never involved in anything we not accuse him of. And let me just address this while me at it, right? You see, 99% out there, I defend my brother. And I want to thank you for that. Because it's that 99%, a person who know him, who goes to school with him, who grew up with him, and who he associates himself with. But you see, for that 1%, let me tell you this. I'm not going to come on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever. I go back and forth with any of them. I try to prove to them who my brother was or the life he lived. Me not go to that. Because guess what? If I didn't know who him be, then me don't know the reach this, right? Why me supposed to come on the internet and argue or I try to prove to them, say, this is who he was or what he used to do or whatever, to a complete stranger, because obviously never know him. If you go ask if police would under shoot somebody so or two side to whatever. Yes, there are two sides. There's always two sides or three sides to everything, right? So to that 1%, you can go suck on a mother.
Yes, lady, me we donate a hose and a straw. Anything they can suck up in the hose, they use a straw.
You can go turn no matter upside down, wherever. I remember, when I go do it, you bring Minto window.
Yes, and make sure no push Minto head, get bulldozer to push him, because these are the questions when we post about these. summary execution by the police is generally the labor right them come under our page, come keep up this level of everywhere you hear this young lady talking about. The dunce backward labor right, and them generally come under my page with that level of dunceness. And we will help push Minto, we don't know.
Bring Minto with uno, we're not gonna do it. Right? Me not gonna go back and forth with that 1%. So I'm gonna leave that right there. We're not come under post. Come in, I'm gonna stop speak up for my brother.
We the people have sent a little bit now go stop demand justice, because what Minto has portrayed in our parish, we not used to them frickery Minto, and we not go tolerate it, we not go stay quiet to it, and furthermore, Coleridge Minto, we're not going to accept it.
I grew up with him, sleeping in CM bed. Till we can do one room, till we can do separate rooms. He's the second sibling, I am the third. My brother first man will show me real love. I say real love, protective. And you took that away from us. Mr. Minto, the 14 parishes and the 52 states, I'm with my brother, and they know him. I tried to defame who he was. TVJ News reported that he was on the police radar. Information obtained from the police force, right? That's what TVJ News reported. Information obtained from the police force, right? That he was on the police radar, and he was in a standoff shootout. That you had to deploy other police from different parishes.
That we are asking Minto to clear up, because you will hear when they had a meeting with Minto, the evasive answer. It's not that Minto is only passive aggressive, but the evasive answer that Minto gave them when they spoke directly to these issue of the slander of a dead man's character.
Right? In a meeting with family members, Mr. Minto, you said, and I quote, when asked, right? When asked, you said, the question was, how comes TVJ is reporting that he was in a standoff shootout and you had to deploy police from other parishes, and he just got released from prison and he's on the radar? Those were the questions asked to you, right? You said, and I quote, there are so many things circling the internet about you, Mr. Minto. Are they true? That's what you said.
Do you understand the evasiveness of such an answer? And they are questioning what the media source say they got from the police. Now, if Minto, which Minto told them that none, him or any of his officer spoke not to the media, if it is then that the media is giving that narrative and they have not spoken to the media and the story is not true, why is Minto and the Jamaica Constabulary Force is allowing this media narrative to run out there and is not clear enough? It is not, is it not misleading and in the effort to throw a cloud over the character of the young man who they've murdered?
You said, right? There's so many things circulating. Now my question is, right? What are you implying? That TVJ is lying or TVJ is
and observer
spreading false information against my brother because of what the statement that you made, right? That there are stuff going on the internet about you that aren't true, right? Second, you said, and I quote, you or any member of the police, Blackrock Police Station, have not spoken to TVJ News or any news media for that matter. So where did TVJ get such information from? Because
I would urge the family to have their lawyer contact TVJ and the Observer, because I didn't see the TVJ reporting, but I read the Observer article which state all of those things. I would urge the family to have their legal team contact TVJ and Observer for a withdrawal and an apology, or if not, to state clearly to the public where they got their source from to publish such information. But the people of St. Elizabeth and Jamaica need this issue cleared up.
Something must have said to someone, right? And then this thing about wrong identity, right? So indirectly, you said it to somebody and somebody said it to I don't know, because where you say you never say it to TVJ, so how TVJ was on the spot? Make me confused. I am so confused, Mr. Minto. And you still have yet to come and defend the JCF, then say TVJ has spread propaganda upon one of them, right? Come and defend the JCF. Nothing. Mr. Minto, have you did not come out and say nothing. You not come out and say anything, right? Instead, you fear for your life. My brother begged for his life. He begged for his life. I'm gonna kill him. Cold blood. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him and I do what I need to do. Hey, Mr. Minto, how you sleep at night time? How you sleep? I don't know when they expect the owners they go kill him and him just go on the statistics for 2026 and that was it. We will bury him and that was it. I'm not gonna stop advocate to my brother. I'm not gonna stop be his voice, one of his voice. Because I know if I just me other sister siblings, auntie, and the rest of family, if we want to do it, we're going to do it. But my brother is going to get justice. He is going to get justice, Mr. Minto. And Jolly, Randine, and Swaby, trust me, them are going to get where they forget. I'm into you going on with them. I don't know who we are protect or where you are hide, but it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Don't think we're done. We are in preparation for burial. Come and brother go. Margaret and Inge might get the most peaceful burial. But don't think we're done with them, Mr. Minto. We're not. I mean, I even didn't want to make this every day so long, but trust me, we have so much respect to you, Mr. Minto. You say you never sign off on no operation. Think so they went rogue. Huh? They went rogue, right? The biggest charge was the upon them, I fact they move the body. Why not move the body? When close it up till now we don't achieve nothing, you know? When close there. India bring back the liquor them to the Chinese man.
They even robbed the dead man, globalists. They even robbed the dead man.
Money, not the care. Where the money there? Where money there? Where the them there?
They robbed them.
Huh? Where all of them there's something there? You mean to? Ask your corporal them where they in there. Can't believe that it's real. Like me try every day for you. I try process the I try process the fact. Say yes, my brother gone. I'm not gonna ever see him or talk to him again. It's like me never watch me not shock or me never too many days Jamaica white feel so real or me no know. It's just like me feel like me I go mad sometime. You know what? This is gonna be to be continued, Mr. Minto. So me I tell you, say, Leon and them all are gonna be an example. If you to kind of mess with the wrong family. No mess with the wrong family. Now let me tell you this again. Me no want nobody to call me and ask me nothing. If you not go come with but after, you go suck on no matter with that. And let me tell you now that 1% they will come and the post and talk about police to do this and police are kill innocent people and police can just pass somebody and kill them. So you know go suck on no matter. And I make sure to bring Minto with you know. Then I go back and forth with Uno. I go talk about my brother with somebody who has never you have never met, right? So why am I gonna go back and forth with you about somebody you've never met in your life? Not me. Any energy may I have, I fi do this. Not fi go back and forth with any of you. But I don't know when I ever get over this. But in the meantime, we keep you guys posted on the funeral date. And I guess basically that's it. The funeral date. I mean to me now stop posting. I tell you. Now stop posting. We are going to the highest of the highest. I'm telling you that. Whatever you try to cover up or whatever. No.
This is disgraceful. But globalists, my head and my mind tired. We're going to leave here so tonight and tomorrow morning. When we come back, we'll come back upon the multinational thieves, the ministers of government, the ministers on the public purse, swindle. We're coming back on Floyd Green and Tufton tomorrow morning because we must continue to demand the resignation of Floyd Green and Christopher Tufton, as well as Darrell Vaz. The department run by these crooks is a rogue department where money just litter spread and throw everywhere without us getting any value for it. So tomorrow morning when we're coming back out, when we come back out here, we're going to keep up with the thieves. All right? So thank you all for being here tonight. Quite a bit of different here and there information as pitchy-patchy as Delroy Chuck amendment to the Juries Act. But nevertheless, come back tomorrow morning where we will keep up with the public disgraceful thieves. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night from us here on Global TV. Where are my audios?
Too long in our little ghetto, run keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So that's why I as a watching man around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down. Me say Rastafari. War and crime. And do the righteousness. And we love. And we love Jaja. And we love Jaja. Rastafari. Save all people. And we love Jaja. We love Jaja. We love Jaja. Rastafari. Save all people. Put time away again. Listen, yeah. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare and read the way. Prepare and read the way for Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Rastafari. We love all. And we love Jah. Me love Jaja. Me love Jaja. Rastafari. Preserve all. Me love Jaja. Rastafari.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.